So deconstructing ex-evangelical, and you guys, this is like messy. This is super messy. Like literally this weekend was super hard. Like I am running into a lot of things with conflicting thoughts, like stuff with my family and like what we used to believe and like where some of my family still stands and it doesn't make sense, and how can they support certain things that I don't support. And I'm actually not talking about Trump because my family is not for Trump. So even saying that for Christians, like some of my family that are Christians that are vehemently against Trump, but because they see the truth of the matter, and they realize what he's standing for is completely against humanity. He's not standing with humanity. He is literally standing for the destruction and the euthanization, for a strong word, but not, of the people groups. That's called Auschwitz, y'all. That's like wanting to get rid of people groups means genocide. You know this, right? But my deconstruction, while Trump has assisted in it, it's super messy. I'm all over the place, I feel like. And I want to come on here and be truthful and transparent and share when I'm irritated and frustrated and uncertain. And I think the parts of me that I don't like right now is I seem like all I'm doing is just completely negative. And ironically, I'm actually like one of my top strengths from the Strength Finders, because my background's in mental health therapy counseling, and so we learn to do all these different tests, and one of them is Strength Finders, and one of my top strengths is positivity. And so yeah, I am actually normally a really positive person, but I'm fucking angry. I'm fucking pissed. And I want to be free from half the shit that I was associated with. And I was involved in some pretty heavy shit that is still hitting the fan. And I spent almost all weekend listening to some of the podcasts, deconstructing a lot of SA abuse, a lot of graping, a lot of grooming, narcissism. Like, I'm so sickened because this happens across the board with Christianity. It does. That's the thing. That's why people are so mad, Christians, at you, is because you're standing with those that are committing these crimes. That's why people are angry. Yeah, that's why people are angry. So, my point in saying all of that is that Christians proclaim to be the safest place. God, Jesus, all of that is supposed to be the safest place, right? But yet it's the complete opposite. If you didn't proclaim that, if you didn't claim that Jesus heals all, God fixes all, if you didn't proclaim that believing, trusting, coming to church, praying, all these things would fix it, if you didn't proclaim that, then I don't think there would be this massive uproar against Christians and deconstructing evangelicalism, charismatic, anybody else, doesn't matter. You wouldn't be deconstructing because you would be believing what Christians are saying, because they are actually safe. Churches are actually safe. Pastors are actually safe. Christians themselves are actually safe. But that is not the truth. It is opposite. And again, not all people, yes, but unfortunately, most people. Most. It's more than not. It's not just the bigwigs that are hitting the fan. It is literally seeping out of every pore from from the United States, from all the states, from overseas. There's stuff that happens overseas too. Having lived in Vienna, having lived in New Zealand, having lived in Canada, having lived in England. I mean, I have lived all over the world, so you can't sit here and say that I don't know about other churches. I have been to so many other churches. I am telling you, the threads of Christianity are still the same. It is to control and coerce and try to get people to do what they want them to do. That is why saying, hey, you have to have this belief system, you have to believe it just like this, that's called coercive control. That's why having a conversation with Christians is so difficult. And thankfully, I have had some really great Christians in my life, and people around me that are still Christians that do have really great conversations. So again, I'm not saying all, but unfortunately, again, it is most. It is the majority, and that's who I'm speaking to.